What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the bottom of the map in the blue color playing as Poseidon. Can we go any higher in pitch? No, we can't. Well, maybe we could there. His name is 3antozz. His opponent today in the red color playing as Loki. His name is HerroOP. The map is Frozen Wastes. And it is a Loki versus Poseidon matchup. I actually really like this matchup because unlike against Odin or Thor, which I also do like the Poseidon versus Odin / Thor matchup as well, but more specifically the Loki side of this, the reason I like it is because the Hippocon actually become relatively useful in this matchup because now your Hippocon actually trade 1-for-1 against the HerroOP, in which case you're actually at somewhat of an advantage there because gold is a bit, because your Hippocon are a little bit cheaper than the HerroOP, but gold gathers faster than food and you can get some advantage in that respect. You also have the ceasefire for the flaming weapons, so there's not going to be any like crazy abuse that the Loki player can do to beat you. But all that being said, because of all of the chaos that Loki players can put onto their opponent or the chaos that the Poseidon can put onto the Loki, there's going to be a lot of crazy stuff that happens in this matchup. And that's what's cool about it. It's because it's hypermobile civilizations where both of the units kind of bash into each other and trade 1-for-1. And anything can happen. And a little backstory about HerroOP. He's been playing this game since before most of you were born, and he has been playing Loki for that entire period. So he knows the ins and outs of Loki. He knows what he needs to do to get wins, and he knows how far he can stretch the chaos. And I really enjoy watching Herro's games. I think I've got a bunch of them on the channel from way back when, and he's got a lot of fun. He is a lot of fun, and I'm excited to see what he's going to come up with. Now, 3antozz, on the other hand, he's relatively newcomer on the scene. He's been playing really well for maybe the past year or so, like at least 1800 plus level, and seeing him get up to the high ranks is really cool because whenever people get better at the game, that's a super. I get excited about that because I remember what that felt like and it felt great. So watching 3antozz's progression through the ranks over the years has been very cool. So super congrats to him on all the hard work and all the, well, I mean, it's not really hard work. It's all fun, but on the progression and showing everyone that it is possible to get good at this game in 2022. Is that the year? It is 2022. Yep, I'm going well. So, temple coming up for 3antozz already. He's got it kind of forward placed. I don't know if I really like this temple placement because this is going to be a target here for Herro to attack. So you come in, you attack the temple, and that's going to be free favor and going to be a place, as well as this house. Now, this could be all baits and like 3antozz just wants to lose the temple anyways for the militia, but neither here nor there. You just whatever, it's there anyways, it's fine. And Herro is getting his own temple up now in a nice safe position. So in general, I prefer my temples and buildings and stuff to be in range of my town center. And if I was considering to build some sort of choke point between these two forests here, like it's seeming like looking like 3antozz wants to do, I would actually consider maybe not these two forests, but maybe here to the berry bush to the forest over here as my building blocks. So I could use the granary, temple here, house here, wall here, and that would be a better way to keep everything important safe. But we do see the villagers making their way over here, and it does look like 3antozz did actually manage to spot that one there. And he's already scouted this out as well, so he's going to be checking this and seeing, oh, no, dead elk. So he's going to be able to hit a raid straight away on this with the Theseus and the Hippolyta. The most important thing for Poseidon players, for Greek players in general, is getting early value with their heroes. This is a big reason why I've been suggesting to Poseidon players, and 3antozz has actually pulled it off in this game. It is to get to the classical age just after 4 minutes at the very latest. So if you can get to the classical age at 4 minutes, you should get to the classical age at 4 minutes. Getting out your early Hippolyta is so much more value than getting out a super early archaic age Theseus in most matchups. So Theseus now going to move in. We do see the elk has been retreated away, and Herro's rightfully noticed that he's not going to be able to deal with that at all, going back to his home base. And we do see the classic double temple here for Herro. Now, I've been made aware, I wasn't actually sure if this is true or not, but I've been made aware that a Herso trains faster in the longhouse than in the temple. Maybe somebody in the comment section can correct me on this, but the unique ability of the Herso is trains faster, or it's not actually trains faster, it's trains faster in the longhouse, I believe. So these Herso coming out of the temple take the full 23 seconds, and if you take away the 15-second reduced train time that comes from your longhouse, you are saving over 2 seconds of train time per Herso. If that matters or not is kind of debatable, because you probably don't have enough resources for you to start going above that anyways. And live in the drain. Alrighty, so we are seeing some pressure onto this temple, and I thought the town center was in range of this temple, but turns out I was wrong, and the temple's actually poorly placed as well. And now HerroOP is getting some value here. But the thing is, I don't think Herro is going to be too mad about this, because he's actually got enough wood in the bank to throw a longhouse down. He doesn't really want to, because he wants to get himself Hall of Thanes as soon as possible. Nice snipe there onto the troll. But I think the most important thing here is that we just sack this and allow HerroOP to kill this, because so long as Herro's villages aren't under attack, he's going to be getting what he needs. But right now, look at how fast HerroOP's economy, or military more I should be saying, is coming out this game. This is just because of the really fast advance time. It's already at 46 population, 50 population. And look at this, 9 villages food, 4 villages wood, 9 villages gold. He probably, I would actually suggest that if he looks after his Hippolyta and never loses his Hippolyta, he probably only needs to go 2 villages on wood right now. This is something that's kind of a new idea in some respects. I've been seeing some Norse players like Soup doing it, where if you're not building wood-based units and just going full food-based units, you can actually take, after you get all of your buildings up, you can actually take your villages off of wood and put them over onto food to get a little bit more. Now, you do also have to think about, well, I want to get husbandry, which is what HerroOP is getting. I want to get pickaxe. So you might, if you want to get those upgrades, you want to leave on wood. But the idea would be that the upgrades simply just aren't worth it. Husbandry is definitely worth it, but pickaxe maybe not so much. In terms of modern play, where the idea is we want to just, there's just so much value in getting to the mythic age or getting out of town center. So just as a random thought there. Anyways, moving around here with HerroOP and Hippocon looking for some raids. Herro is suffering dearly here in this game, as these villagers just cannot find anywhere to go. The Hippocon very luckily do run into those villages, though they were moving around this side anyways. I think onto this wood line would have been really nice, because then he could run through the gate, and that's exactly what Herro is going to be doing here. He's got a nice safe gate there. He does have a whole bunch of Herso, and there is still no Hall of Thanes in, but it's just about to pop, and now Herro can come in and say good day. He's got the speedy units, and immediately HerroOP identifies that he should not be in this location anymore. Those Herso are scary. And now comes the point where the Loki gets to hit back. So Herro has taken all this early damage, and now he gets to hit back, and you really should not be fighting these Herso, especially against top level Loki players. They're going to be able to micro away from you, and it's going to be a little bit tough. You got to play more on the defensive side of things, and try and get your way into the heroic age, maybe into getting bronze and Thracian horses for your Hippocon. But we'll see how he's going to do. He's moving out his heroes. The heroes are very, very helpful in this. But stray centaur as Herro runs right past, not paying attention, did not get to snipe that one. And there might be an option for the centaur to come over here and start attacking these dwarves, though the Herso is actually much, much faster than the centaur now, and we'll be able to pick it off, as we are seeing these Herso coming straight in onto these 3 villagers who are trying to hunt some of Herro's food here very sneakily, but he's going to lose all of these villages, it seems. This is actually a really, really big raid for Herro, and completely gets him back into the game economically. But right now we are seeing a little bit of a raid coming over here from HerroOP, trying to snipe off this Herso. It's going to be able to survive with just enough HP there, 7 HP with the help of that healing spring, and the Hippocon do have to retreat back. The Herso leaving this location with 2 villages remaining, going to be looking for some raids potentially in the main base of HerroOP. Does he have, he does have 3 villages on favor, so he is looking to get himself the spirited charge technology, and floating a lot of gold at this point. So we might want to pull off gold, get onto wood, start thinking about farming. The relics on the map were Tower of Cestus and Toothed Arrows. So Toothed Arrows is fairly relevant for later in the game, but not really before that. I understand why they haven't been prioritized here, but nothing too game changing in terms of how you would change your strategy based off the relics. So villagers enjoying their life up here. A couple of Hippocon just going to chill. And how is the economy of Hero going? He is going braggy. This man's semi-fast heroics are on point. 10 minutes, 30 seconds. 71 population is not the best. You can actually get a 1030 heroic age with full population Hersa if you have really good hunt maps and you're not getting pushed off any of those huntables. But in this situation, he's doing what he can with what he has. Going to start up that production cycle as well. He did get a troll spawn, which is unfortunate, so it does get immediately picked off, and the Hersa will be leaving this location. He probably can take a little bit of a fight here, but waiting for the heroic age with that buff of the stats, free buff of the stats in a way, is very, very good as well. And the Hersa going to get out and be completely fine. The Hippocon actually now do outspeed the Hersa as we do kind of change how this is going. I love that play there from Hero. He's going to keep turning around as these Hippocon are a little bit confused and get a little bit misplaced. He can turn around, get a whole bunch of damage, pull back, turn around, but he is just taking this fight now because he does have the heroic age. Nice micro from 3antozz there, pulling 2 Hersa with that Hippocon. Does end up falling as the fight is continuing. Nice micro there from Hero, trying to keep his Hersa alive, but he does actually decide to leave there. We do see the Hippocon coming in, attacking this location and this location over here. While this is all going on, Hero is attacking on the front, going after these stables. He does have a Valkyrie spawn on the front, and battle balls coming into the defensive side of things here for Hero. Is going to be able to come over here and hit these. One thing that's really important here for the Loki player is to get down to market, because once you hit the heroic age here with Loki, you tend to run out of food, and the actual best way to continue is not to get yourself farms. It is to get a market, and it is to buy yourself food, because you can just gather so many more resources with the dwarf gather rate and buying food than you can while getting farms. So maybe that's something we'll see here from Hero. He does have some hunt over here that he can jump onto. The rest of the hunt seemingly has been eaten up by 3antozz in this game, as he does manage to get to the heroic age through Dionysus. So obviously not going through the Aphrodite, doesn't want curse. You can curse enemy villages if you get a whole bunch of damaged villages, and then click curse them. You can get a whole bunch of kills with curse, but 3antozz opting for something else, and he's now going to be transitioning into those Hypaspist. So that means that Hero has to transition into raiding cavalry or Jarl. So the Jarl are actually a really, really good option against like the Hypaspist, but I often don't see them being afforded a lot of the time. We do see these Hippocon returning back in onto this little gold mine that he's kind of opened up by picking up houses and everything. Might see a wall here from Hero at some point just to prevent that raid, but we do see the villagers coming in, going to be hitting. God, dying, hitting the villagers. Market trying to come up here for 3antozz as he wants to get to the Mythic Age himself. Get a big, big earthquake push onto his opponent would be gigantic. But right now, not really any heroes out, and he is taking this fight nicely. Gets a Frost Giant spawn, can use that onto the Hydra. In fact, does so very, very nicely. Going to be able to clean that Hydra up very quickly. Battle Ball is going to town, but with all the Hypaspist coming out, now the pure Hersa spam of Hero is going to come to a grinding halt, and even though he gets a whole bunch of damage done, losing all these Hersa is actually a big deal, because now he can't build any buildings quickly. He's going to be having a rough time of it where that's concerned. He is eating his food over here. Long distance food gathering. 2 ox carts on this gold mine. Definitely a small mistake there from Hero. And Hero is still just pumping out his units, getting Battle Ball, getting Hersa, getting Hersa. So he's making no effort to transition into the raiding cavalry yet. The Battle Ball mass has begun. There are so many Battle Ball here. Even with the Frost Giant, the Valkyrie coming in to help out, jumping straight onto that Hippolyta to get as much damage done there as possible so his myth units can go to town on the human units of 3antozz. I still don't see an Atlanta here yet for 3antozz, so he needs to get that one out as soon as he possibly can to deal with this myth unit spam. There's just such an overwhelming myth unit advantage here for Herro, but the heroes are so strong. They're able to tank for ages, and Herro's going to have to get out of here. Not really ready to take this fight. Still long-distance food mining there. Unfortunate. We are starting to see those farms coming down, which, again, I think is maybe a little bit of just like not understanding how much value you get out of buying food. If you actually look at it, I mean, it actually looks like maybe he has bought some food here already. Someone has bought food here, but if you start at 129 and start buying food at that point, you get so much more actual total resources than if you go into farms, because farms gather incredibly slow with just plow. So as opposed to your dwarves on even just not pickaxe. And now we see the medium Hippocon going to be looking for a raid up here onto 3antozz. The army of Herro very much out of position to deal with this here, as the Hippocon coming in onto this gold mine. Beautiful reaction there from Herro, getting out as soon as he possibly can. And we do see the villagers dodging the low line of sight there of 3antozz's cavalry. Meanwhile, we see the battle ball going after the hometown center here of 3antozz. One Atlanta is not going to be enough to deny this. The town center will indeed be falling here. Beautiful play by Herro here, and we do see a forced ceasefire. This is absolutely huge for Herro. The question is, how many Hersa does he have? He's got 11 Hersa out. His Hippocon, the Hippocon of 3antozz, are going to be staying over on this location, ready to attack this, but not happening just yet. And Herro's gold is shooting up, and you are actually seeing people buying. I'm not sure if it's 3antozz or if it's Herro, but someone is buying food up the wazoo, and we are actually seeing that. So it's absolutely huge. But now you have to start thinking about the next position here. So you can actually, after you buy the food, you can actually buy wood and then start the farm transition that way. So instead of chopping wood down with your gatherers, your dwarves over here get all that gold and you buy the wood. It's not as efficient, but the gold villages, it is for those, especially if you win that one. But we'll get to the buying of wood first. Anyways, neither here nor there. It's time to go for the big flaming weapons push here. Again, there are only 11 Hersa, so this is maybe not going to be as attacking a farm there. Bronze coming down. This might not be as beneficial as Herro thinks it's going to be, but he's going to get some myth unit spawns for sure, as he's trying to do as much damage as he possibly can with that bronze. There's a lot of army here. The town center will indeed be falling. Herro, on the other hand, is not going to the Mythic Age. No resources in the bank, just spamming out units as best as he possibly can here. But the hero's still alive for the most part. If Herro kills off all of the heroes here, there's no way to rebuild the heroes without getting a fortress down or the town center back up. You see the raid onto these dwarves while this is all going on. Nice play there. And we are actually seeing that after all is done and dusted, Herro has to get out of here. Bronze taking out the Flaming Weapons Hersa and Myth Unit army of HerroOP in this game. Beautiful defense from 3antozz. He does end up with a lost town center, but he will be rebuilding that very, very quickly here. Lots of resources in the bank. Thinking about going to the next age. We do see a little bit of villager shanking action going on as the pacifists all retreating back home. Dead Atlanta there. Potentially dead Hippolyta as well. Going to be coming through very, very shortly, as the bronze still doing its thing. Now those myth units are going to have to actually retreat as well, it seems. But town center's back up, and we will probably be seeing all those heroes getting rebuilt immediately. Yes, there's the Theseus, there's the Atlanta. We will be seeing, the Hippolyta. We will be seeing that Atlanta coming through as soon as 3antozz can afford it. As these units are retreating back. And Herro's choosing a strange place to go to. He's going to this gold mine. He's just made no effort to defend his villages at all. And the idea would be that you would want to put a hill fort up anyways, because you want to get Jarls. But now 3antozz is just going to immediately send 7 Hippocon up onto that gold mine over there, and he makes no qualms about showing it to Herro at all. He just goes straight away. The dwarves going to be trying to make a run for it. Unfortunately, a couple of these dwarves might give this away as the Hippocon do come in. They might not have been noticed there, as these villagers are getting targeted down. There is a storehouse on this location. Meanwhile, over here, the myth unit's getting cleaned up as 3antozz holding nicely. There is a big raid onto this location, but with the Atlanta over here and just myth units on this position, this is not going to be that useful. And now the question is going to be, how long can Herro stay undetected on this gold mine? Thank you so much for the 16 months, Drew. Appreciate you, you legend. Thank you, thank you. So does this storehouse scout this? Or the storehouse doesn't actually scout the villagers on this gold mine either. That's actually super unlucky there from 3antozz. But HerroOP is going to be enjoying that one for sure. And essentially here, 3antozz is going to be wondering where on earth is the gold getting grabbed from. He's returning back onto this gold mine. He'll see nothing on here, and he's going to have to know that there's going to be something going on that location. We've got a whole bunch of idle units here for Herro, saving them for a rainy day, looking for a bit of a side raid. 3antozz at 61 population. Herro is at 84 population. The farming has begun. Do we have plow? We don't have plow, but maybe he just got it then. I heard a little dink. Yes, he did, so he might be able to get straight into irrigation as well. The big scary thing is, of course, earthquake, but the question is going to be, can 3antozz get there or not, as he's going to continue building these Hypaspist and doing what he does best here, and see how it's going to work. So now Battlebot making their way into this position now. The heroes have left here for 3antozz, so he's going to be able to get a little bit of value from these Battlebot on the gold mine. I'd like to see the Herso go straight after the villagers though, to get a little bit more damage done. So you do see a stable getting thrown up here. Ghost building will get denied as the Herso retreating through here, trying to stay alive. The Herso over on this location, they're still very low HP, both of them, but getting a lot of DPS done nonetheless. And 3antozz has given up trying to find where the gold mine is. He says, nah, it's all right. You have a gold mine. All good. No problems. Now Herro is going to be retreating away. And 106 population. He still has no real way to beat the medium Hypaspist army with these Herso. He needs to make raiding cavalry. This is the counter. It's always been the counter. Raiding cavalry or yeah, he needs to make cavalry. It's always been the counter to Hypaspist and will forever be the counter to Hypaspist, but he's not doing it, and I don't know what to say about it. As the Herso retreating back, we'll actually take this fight a little bit longer. It is still going to probably be favorable for 3antozz. Nice micro there, but Herro's paying attention a little bit. He's going to try and clean up these Hypaspists. Not only are the Hypaspists good against the Herso, they are also ultra cheap. So even if you do trade 1-for-1, it's still really bad. So we do see the Ivacon spotting this location over here. But there's a world here where 3antozz believes that the villagers on that gold mine, were the only villagers, and he's not going to check this gold mine. He's not going to check it at all. So you see this troll just hanging out here for a little bit, just doing its thing, just hanging. Why not? As we see over here, these units are getting cleaned up, and 3antozz still holding fast. He's got a lot of farms going on right now, but in an interesting position. These far farms are very, very inefficient. Needs to get an ox cart out or something like that. And we do finally see, after how much gold? Nearly 3,000 gold gathered, that these dwarves have been spotted. And on this location here, Hippocon has spotted that there as well. And now there is a world where, I mean, you can just send your Herso onto this gold mine and stop 3antozz from gathering. But I imagine 3antozz got a lot of gold in the bank nonetheless. So even if he has to pull off the gold mine, he's okay for quite some time. But all the dwarves falling on this position. Holy dead dwarves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 dead dwarves. Big cleanup there from 3antozz. We are still seeing an attempt from Herro to get onto... Oh, big mountain giant spawn. He can use that to pick off so much stuff here in 3antozz's base. But this Herso is going to end up falling, which is really bad. Well, it seems like he's leaving that watchtower there for whatever reason. And the gold miners have been pushed off. But it doesn't really matter here for 3antozz. He's just trying to get out as much... food as he possibly can to get himself up to full population. He's definitely going to be able to get there. Then he can just sit on that gold mine for a little bit. But the problem is going to be, if Herro can get Mythic Age here, dealing with the Nidhogg is going to be really hard for 3antozz, because he's got only one hero out, one ranged unit to boot, and that Nidhogg can just cause absolute chaos for 3antozz. So there are one or two options here for 3antozz as far as I see it. So option number one would be to attempt to get to the Mythic Age before Hero gets there, which seems a little bit unlikely. But the more crazier option would be to go for a Villager Ragnarok. It's 115 of 115 population, and then send all your villagers forward with your Hypaspis and just go for a huge push. Villager Ragnarok at this point would be able to shut down any potential Mythic Age. Hero's got a lot of good armory upgrades, but that doesn't really matter when you have the Hypaspis, and you just kind of click go and hope. But maybe there's a third option that I'm not really seeing here to deal with what is potentially coming. But Hero still low gold. We're still seeing some good raids here, taking down the Ox Cart on this position. We just see the militia coming in to pick off some of these villagers on the food, on the farms here. While that's going on, Hero is returning the favor. The absolute chaos of this game is so absolutely unreal, as no one is defending. It is just attack, 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 as we see Hippolyta getting cleaned up over here. The Herso retreating back. And Longhouse coming down for Hero as he's trying to get some knowledge of what's going on over here. The dwarves getting pushed off this gold mine yet again. We do see this gold mine again getting gathered from with 7 dwarves. As a battle boar is not really enough to defend these villages. If you want to hang here, at least start shanking back. That's not what's going on. We see the villagers making their way back over onto this position. Battle boar is hanging tight here as 3antozz. He's still got plenty of resources in the bank. He's definitely going for that Mythic Age first to try and earthquake the town center and deny a potential hell from coming through. And it's actually looking like he will be able to click up first here. He's definitely the closest to it, but both players very, very similarly close here. And there's actually a world here where if 3antozz went huge onto farms, he could just sell food because it actually sells for quite a bit. 137 right now because so much food has been bought. But maybe that's not on his radar at this time. We do see the Atlanta getting targeted down. You essentially want to ignore the Hypaspis as much as you can and just get the Herso to kill the Theseus and the Hippolyta and let the myth units deal with all those infantry units as best as you can. You see yet again these villagers sneaking this gold mine. Hippocon coming over here. They might spot that gatherer long distance mining, and 3antozz will now be able to click up to the Mythic Age, and he is just a little bit preoccupied with what's going on here, but he will be clicking up through Artemis shortly, I'm sure. And Hero, on the other hand here, not close. So this earthquake is going to be absolutely devastating if 3antozz will ever click up. We can just play the waiting music, and there we go. So Artemis coming through, and Hero not close. So what can Hero really do now to defend against this? If he gets some sort of a feeling that 3antozz is going Mythic Age, he could probably spam military buildings or spam buildings around this town center and get himself masons and might be able to hold on to the town center. But in all honesty, the earthquake plus a Villager Ragnarok would be impossible to stop at this point, I think, for Hero. But I don't think we've seen a crazy good understanding of the villager all in to just end the game. Really only Skadi does it, but it's definitely really good against specifically Loki and maybe even some other civs like Uranus in certain situations. As we see 3antozz retreating back, the villagers here getting pulled back. Maybe want to target down that Herso there. Villager retreats away. Is safe. The Loki Ox Carts! Why are you so weak? Why are you so weak? This one gate here actually saving those villagers for quite some time there. So we see the Hippocon making their way in here. And 3antozz is definitely set on preventing this town center from going up. But I don't think 3antozz realizes how behind Hero's economy is in this game. As we do see the Hippocon will wander in here. Will earthquake this. And big damage coming. Boom, 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 boom. Everything falls. And now what does Hero do? Does he have to stay one town center here? He's going to... Holy, he lost so many houses as well. That's absolutely devastating. We're starting to see the houses getting rebuilt, but what really can Herro do in this position? Now we're also going to see a Chimera coming in somewhere. Where's the Chimera at? There it is, going straight after these villagers here, and they're going to start having a feast day over here. Absolute barbecue. Come round. We're serving dwarf. We're serving gatherer. And it's an all-you-can-eat buffet style thing. It's the villagers running away. No attempt at a town center grab back yet. These villagers are now long-distance farming to this ox cart as well. So Hippocon retreating back. Battle boar roaming around the side of the map here, looking to hit some of these villages as well, as they are just hanging out, mining away, doing their thing. The Herso coming in onto this position. The Theseus just getting beaten up. Whack, whack, whack. Dead, dead, dead. Now we see those Hippocon making their way in onto this position, going to attempt to take the town center down, prevent that one from coming back up as Herro is trying his darndest to get it back up. We see the what are they called? Hypaspist? Brain blank. The Hypaspist coming in. They might be able to get in here and slow this down. Maybe they're just too slow to get in, and obviously HerroOP is not really that concerned here. He's getting himself his Polyphemus, is getting himself his second town center. Is still don't see any sort of heavy infantry upgrades coming through for HerroOP. I think that'll be a really, really big help for him, but not happening. And Herro is still somehow managing to mine gold over here. He's getting quite a bit of that. What we got a troll spawn. That's so sad. If you got a fire giant here, it would have been gigantic. Or a battle. You can't get a fire giant, but like a giant. If you got a giant here, it would have been big, big help. We do actually end up seeing the Chimera getting dealt with as the Herso are going to continue to thwack away. And we are finally seeing in the 29th minute of this game a lone raiding cavalry with medium raiders to boot. Villagers get pushed off that gold mine. They've returned back onto this gold mine over here. You see Polyphemus coming in to try and take down the hill fort. Herro's not paying attention. He's going to be returning back over here with his cavalry to try and take the Polyphemus down. But I think Polyphemus kills a hill fort faster than these two would kill the Polyphemus, which is a little bit funny, but that's how it is. Whole bunch of villagers falling here. Town center gets denied. HerroOP still mining away at this gold mine. He will be running out of it fairly soon, but I'm sure he's got tons of resources in the bank if he wants to buy any upgrades. Going once, going twice. Nope. No upgrades. Who needs upgrades? And now that the raiders are out, you can basically just go pure infantry. You can go Hoplite, Hypaspist. You can even go get some Prodromus out. Prodromus Hypaspist wouldn't be a bad idea. Or even like the kind of weakish Hippocon Hypaspist that HerroOP has currently got is going to be alright. So hold on for a little bit here. We're starting to see more houses getting taken down by HerroOP. These are not Zeus infantry though. They take a while. So we've got 4 villagers currently gathering gold on this location. Herro's at 102 of 95 population. He's still trying his darndest to put pressure onto his opponent, and HerroOP is bouncing off all of this very, very nicely. As HerroOP is at 87 of 115 pop. He's still just trying to get... Well, there he's getting the military academy with only... Or medium infantry, I should say. But with only 2 military academies, he's not able to get back to pop very fast. He is sneaking this town center up, though, in the middle of the map, which is going to be very, very useful. And let's see if he can hold on here as we see the Herso still moving forward. More houses are up. The Hypaspist retreating back over here. Villagers jumping onto this gold mine here as well as the Hoplites coming in to get involved in the game. We've got those silverish Hoplites. Very, very smexy. Coming through to try and get the big damage done onto HerroOP's gold economy. While this is going on, a lone raiding cavalry going after these villages as well. And the raiders getting all this damage done over here very, very nicely. Theseus does end up getting sniped down though, but there is still the Polyphemus here, and even after all of that, Atlanta here to take down the battle boar and HerroOp's 94 of 130 pop now as he gets the talent center up. Herro's 70 population with 100 favor in the bank. He actually doesn't have a temple anymore, so he can't even make any more myth units if he wanted to, but he doesn't have the gold either. So you see the Epicon returning back onto this gold mine, just continually pressuring those points on the map, preventing any sort of gathering from going on. And this is just a clinic on this map of just the constant pressure that happens. But the fact of the matter is, neither player actually attempted to defend their resources. And if they did, this game would have been a lot different. These villagers getting pushed off the berry bushes, though. No longer able to hang out there. As the raiding cavalry retreating back, Herro is still trying his darndest to get back into this game. We are seeing a raiding force from Herro going to sneak around here. The Polyphemus is waiting eagerly, though, as there are also a couple of hoplites and a hippocon here to help defend, but it's not going to be enough, so these villagers are going to feel a little bit of pain as the Hippaspis walking into Herro's base, potentially for their demise, but they're still going to get a little bit of value here as well. As the villagers getting sniped, and there 3antozz goes for a run. We do get a battle boar spawn on this position here from Herro. I'm not sure exactly why he's trying to attack this. He's at 100 favor. He needs to find some value elsewhere. But even after all is said and done, 3antozz still has a little bit of gold left in the bank. He's still 122 of 130 pop, even with 0 villagers gathering. And he can still be selling resources. He's got 931 wood that he can sell. He can get a whole bunch more villagers onto food to sell food. So he doesn't even need to be gathering gold at this point in this game. As the Herso retreating away. And 3antozz with an overwhelming advantage here. Just hasn't quite worked out how he wants to finish it off. So you see the medium raider getting sniped down. Over here, the Herso coming in, getting that damage dealt. Smack, 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 and ends up getting picked off. Herro micros it though. I mean, the Hippocon can catch up if he doesn't bump into that hoplite on repeat. One final hammer throw. Still no attempt at getting this town center for 3antozz. Obviously, still needs to get gold income. The Frost Giant over here getting sniped down. And where exactly is... Oh, he's not. He's not gathering gold from anywhere. He's sending his villagers over here as well. And we do see a couple of units over here to defend as a raiding party coming into this position here. Pushing off this gold mine yet again. And Herro loses one ox cart. Potentially loses a second ox cart. I'm feeling like Herro's just out of steam in this game here. Out of steam indeed. As even Polyphemus wandering in here to get involved. There are still a whole bunch of units for Herro. Over here we do see the battle ball getting sniped down though by the Theseus. 3antozz reacting very nicely to everything here. As a villager falls. Now the battle ball does spawn here for Herro. And the Polyphemus comes in to thwack the raiding cavalry away. 3antozz wandering in to get some damage done with his units. It's still kind of close. 84 pop to 125 pop. Close, not close in pop at all, actually. Thought there was like close because the unit numbers were similar, but it's just the bulk there of 3antozz's army is too fierce. And in the end, the ox cart falls yet again. And now the gold income of Herro grinds to a halt. And all the units falling as well. And Herro does end up tapping out in the 35th minute of this game. GG. Well played. What a fun game. So the lesson we learned here is defend your gold mine. If you put up a hill fort here, you defend it against little raids. And that means that the only way to push the gold mine is with a big army. And then if the whole army is there, then you actually get a lot of more return damage done into your opponent. Or you can retreat back and defend it. That's the story. That's the lesson learned. Not only that, but you need, in this matchup, you need to put the hill fort down such that you can make Jarl to deal with those Hippaspis. It's very important. And then when the hoplites come out, and then you can start making some throwing axemen. You always have to be countering your opponent's army. Loki has more than one unit. I guarantee you He has more than one unit. But GG, well played by HerroOP. He gets to the Mythic Age first. Huge Earthquake really, really hurts Hero. And he's not able to recover from that point at all. And that's the game. If you guys enjoyed it, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next one.